Hi everyone, my name's Donkey, and today we're back on the RTS project. In this video, I did say in the last video was quite short. I do apologise for that. In this video, I said that we would start to create some sort of database. So at the moment, the stone and the wood has a sort of variable, a local variable, stored in the player for each thing, so the charges on each one are the same. So it's kind of hard to explain. If I come here and I pick up a wood, I go over here and I pick up a wood, and I come here and pick up a wood, I can keep picking up wood because each time I move, the count resets. So what we actually want to do is, I did talk through this in the last video, so go back to that if you need to. Basically, we're going to add a database, which means that each tile in our grid has a attribute, which means that it's got a certain charge to it. So each one of these will have a charge. So for example, wood will have a charge of 3, this will have a charge of 1, and this will have a charge of 0. So it's pretty simple. And we'll go ahead and do that now. I do also apologise if I sound a bit off. I've got a little bit of a cold, so I'll try my best anyway. So yeah, we're going to start with the controller, I believe. Yeah, here where we create the grid. And we're actually going to start off. Do we want to create a grid actually? Do we want to use this grid? That's the next question. The answer to that is probably no, to be honest. So yeah, let's go ahead and make a new script actually, a database script. So we can call this script db. Here. This may start to look a little bit familiar. We'll put it to the top as well because it'll be very common. DV. We're going to pass in a few things. Are we? I don't think we are, to be honest. We'll just keep it as that for the moment. Mainly because I've realised we could do this a little bit better. But anyway. So we're going to make a new global grid. So we're going to call it global. We need to think of a good name. Call it tile db. db equals yes grid create. The width and the height is going to be what we pass in. So hopefully that is kind of making sense at the moment. Not sure if we can do this actually. Let's start with this, and then let's say actually, let's check the documentation of global because I'm not entirely sure how you use it, but I know you can. Okay, global dot, there we go. I'm not entirely used to using it because it's generally bad practice. Anyway, there we go. Global dot grid create. So now we have a global grid. So this grid can, once we've run this script, we can now access it from anywhere. Which is something that's different from our other databases that we've made in the past. Because in the past we've sometimes used all sorts of checks at the end, and it started to get a bit complicated. So I'm going to try and do it this way. It might make a little bit more sense. We'll see how it goes though. It may make no sense whatsoever. So for each tile we're going to kind of create a entry almost. So global tile db we need the hashtag as well, the accessor. 00 equals, what's our first sprite called? Sprite tile land, not script, sprite. Tile db 01 equals 0, so that's going to be our charge, and that's kind of all we need for the moment, I think. So we can create a new one for each of these. So instead of land, this is going to be grass, and the charges is going to be 3, this is going to be stone, and the charges is going to be 1. So I'll take you through what we've actually made there. We've made a global database, and then here we do need to change these numbers as well. We've kind of added some more entries into our grid. So, oops, 2. This is our ID of our tile. So 0 is the ID for a land tile, and then there's this 0 indicates that that's the sprite name, and this indicates the charges. So for grass, we can use 1 as the ID, and 0 if we want the name, or 1 if we want the charges, and it's the same for the others. So now what we need to do, let's try it with this. We may change it around, and this may also pan over a few episodes. So for the at the moment, here we have var charges. So we actually need to change this depending on the tile, and to find which tile we are looking at, we need to kind of convert this tile land into an ID format. There's several ways we can do this. Probably the quickest way though is like so. So we'll leave this for the moment. We'll just comment it out, not like that. That's something else. So yeah, we'll just comment it out for the time being. But for the moment, we're going to use something for loop. We're going to use I is less than grid width, I think, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll go with width for the moment. Global dot tile db I plus plus, and then here. So now all we've got to say is if global.tile db I0, because remember this is iterating through every single index, this being the index, every ID, and 0 is accessing the sprite name. And seeing as the sprite name is the only thing we have to work with currently, then that's kind of what we have to do. So if the thing is equal, the sprite name that we've currently checked, we're iterating through, is equal to the tile, which is going to be this in this case, then what we're going to do is kind of save that ID. So we'll just use var idd, because ID is built in, equals I. Okay. So now we can set var charges equal to wait yeah, we'll keep doing this. This wasn't actually what I was planning on doing. I don't feel amazing at the moment, so I do apologise. We'll actually make the different database in the next video, but this will come in handy at the very least. Yeah. yeah, we'll keep doing this for the moment, but I have realised it's not actually what we're wanting to do, and it won't visually change anything. But anyway, so global.tile.db, and here we can use IDD, and 1, that'll get us the charges. So now we can actually copy this. We don't really want it here, to be honest. We can get rid of this, and we can put it way above here. Only because this is going to be the same for both of them now. We can get rid of this line with the charges, and we can also get rid of the charges bit down there, but that's not important there. So yeah, that will solve that kind of problem, even though that wasn't a problem. So yeah, if we run that, we shouldn't see any visual change. It should work. It should work, but maybe it won't. Oh, we never actually created we never created the thing, the database. In Tile Center, we need to run script db, and that will create the database. Just syntax error here. Script db. Oh, we need to pass in width and height. Although in this case, I don't think it matters. Sorry for that. In this case, we can just pass in here width and height, like that. We might need to increase that actually. Yeah, we need to increase that by 1. So that needs to be 3 and 2. Yeah, I do apologise for that. That's the cat. Yeah, there we go. We shouldn't see any visual changes. This should just keep going up to 3. Yeah, no changes whatsoever. Although now we've made it into a nice database, it means we can clean this whole thing up nicely soon. But that wasn't the actual aim. So we'll make another database in the next video for each individual tile. I think I'm going to end this here because you guys probably can't hear much with that racket going on. So anyway, yeah, we'll make a new database for each tile and recording the charges. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted in this video, but anyway, we'll definitely do it in the next one. So anyway, if you like to, remember to like, subscribe, what do you guys want to do, and I will talk to you in the next one.